absolutely buried that. Oh, it's 1-0 England. Tony Duggan. Oh, she took that so well.
Welcome to Cardiff, where England know a draw will be good enough to take them to their 4th World Cup finals.
Girls are really excited, and we know that it's a big game for us in terms of qualification, and we're definitely going out for the 3 points.
But Wales gave England their toughest test of this campaign, and the Welsh team know that a win is vital tonight if they're to keep alive their slim hopes of automatic qualification.
It's a huge ask to get the 3 points, and I think we all understand that. But to get a result, I don't think that is that far away from us.
Defeat for Wales would damage their chances of even making the playoffs, but don't expect any favours from a certain Welshman. He's the England manager.
I'm excited by it. I've probably got some friends and family in the crowd with some split loyalties, but we're all excited by it, and it just shows what a great occasion it's going to be, that we can play this game, and hopefully it'll be a competitive, entertaining spectacle for the supporters.
Neighbours, rivals, St George and the Dragon will come out on top this time. So, this is the situation. England with a 100% record. A point tonight will clinch their place in Canada next June. A win for Wales keeps them in the hunt for top spot, but second place is certainly no guarantee of reaching the playoffs. It's far more complicated than that. Well, watching alongside me, the former England captain Faye White, the former Wales and now Reading ladies manager Jane Ludlow, and with 93 caps with the 3 Lionesses, Sue Smith. They'll be giving their expert opinions at half-time. But with kick-off just moments away, let's get straight across to our commentators, Lucy Ward and first Jonathan Pearce.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, everyone. Yes, a point for England will do. Tickets can be booked for Canada and a 3rd successive World Cup finals. A point for Wales, coupled with a win in Ukraine next month, should be enough for a playoff place as one of the best 4 runners-up. I say that, it's a stiff task for them. 9 of the Welsh side played in a 2-0 away defeat at Millwall 10 months ago. Michelle Green, the highest cap player, came on as a sub that night with Hayley Ladd out with an ankle injury. She starts alongside very much their key player, Jess Fishlock, who scored 2 hat-tricks in this campaign. 4 of the team play at Bristol Academy, the old Club of England coach Mark Sampson, including Natasha Harding up front. She too has 5 goals in the group. Tony Duggan is back for England after missing the last 3 qualifiers. She's got a couple of hat-tricks in this competition so far as well. Jordan Nobbs has missed the last 4 qualifiers with a back injury. She'll run all evening, but a terrific engine. Centre-half Lucy Bronze is banned. Laura Bassett is preferred to the former captain Casey Stoney to partner the current skipper Steph Horton. I guess a draw would suit both teams. Both teams have plenty of goal threat, I can tell you. Just saw there Annie Aluko, who has 8 goals in this qualifying. Jan Sanderson will certainly create. And there's Jess Fishlock, who has won titles in Sweden and Australia and Scotland, has 28 goals for her country. And when she injured an arm in the defeat at Millwall last autumn, well, certainly some of the oomph was taken out of the Welsh team. The referee is from Greece, Natalia Mitzi. 2 assistants are compatriots. England, all in white, will kick us off and underway. The ball is at the foot there of Karen Carney, who scored a couple against Sweden in a very handsome win earlier this month. England in fine form, 5 wins in a row, 12 wins in 14 since the Euro disaster of last summer. And it will be then England, 90 minutes away from the World Cup finals, perhaps, who get us off and underway. And Lucy, I have to ask you straight away, why a midfield diamond for England, do you think?
Well, I think Mark Sampson employed the diamond when they played Sweden recently, England, and they beat Sweden convincingly. And I think he quite liked how that works. Obviously, it's going to be, defensively very, very compact, wide areas. You just have to shuffle across, but that's where Wales can capitalise in wide areas.
Ball tucked up, underway and out of play by Laura Bassett. She's featured in the last 3 qualifiers. So she's keeping, at the moment, Stoney out of the side. Gone suspended for the game. There's Dummy Stokes with a little touch back to go back to university in South Florida as a senior. He came into the side very well last season. An early throw for Wales to be taken by Lauren Dyke. She's one of the Bristol Academy girls. Very experienced Welsh international. And away by Stokes once again. The crowd here at the Cardiff City Stadium down below us on this side. And an early chance here for Wales. And it nearly dropped for Sarah Wiltshire, squirming into the box, and she's forced the first corner of the night. And she is lively. She scored home and away against Turkey and against Montenegro earlier on in qualifying.
Demi Stokes just failed to clear the ball. She thought it was going to go out for a goal kick. Tash Harding's quite quick. She got in behind. Early threat.
Here comes a corner beyond the far post. From the back, it was Nicola Cousins. She was the other girl who didn't start at Millwall in that 2-0 defeat. She plays for Yeovil Town. Towards Sanderson. Expect to see her roam and drop a little bit deeper to play forward to Aluko, and also Tony Duggan, who's there in just outside the penalty area. Rising inside the box on the far side was Jordan Nobbs, who got forward well and will do in support. Here's Farrah Williams, England's most capped footballer, and Fishlock. Very gifted, and draws the foul. She's very much sought after as well. She joins Frankfurt on loan at the end of the US season. She plays for Seattle Reign. They finished top this season, and they'll face Washington in a playoff semi-final this coming weekend. Good player.
Yeah, definitely the key player for Wales. She's wandered the leagues all over the world, like you say, Jonathan, and she, she's probably one of the best players at every team that she's played at, and England will keep an eye on her today. She will be determined. I think she struggled in the last game with she broke her arm, didn't she? And she still struggled through to sort of just after half time. But she's a key player for Wales.
It was remarkable, actually. She should have gone off a long time before she did. Mark Sampson returned to South Wales. For him, he was at Swansea working at Roberto Martinez's Centre of Excellence for a while, just down the road at the great rivals Cardiff tonight.
Do you think he was singing the Welsh anthem in his head when that was going? He must have.
Very proud to be English manager, he told us when he took up the reins. First at charge in La Manga at the turn of the year, and then went out to the Cyprus tournament. They were beaten by France in the final, England. Their only defeat so far under him. Pushed on there by Karen Carney. Comes back to Alex Scott of Arsenal. Sanderson looking for Scott, who will always love to get forward. Started as a forward. Crossing towards Aluko. What a qualifying campaign she's having. 13 goals in her last 18 internationals for England, the Chelsea player. 6 goals for Chelsea this season. Drive by Williams, 130 caps for her, England's most capped footballer.
It's been a steady start, Jonathan. I didn't think it'd be frenetic because both teams really could benefit from the point today. Neither will play for it, but Wales know that they set themselves up for a playoff contest with Ukraine, try and get the 3 points there. England obviously will qualify with a point.
Farrah Williams. Thanks for Scott. Away from her momentarily. 10 years now an England player. Okay for Laura Bassett to Aluko. Samson has varied his technique, his tactics, I should say. He's had 2 up, he's had 3 up, and now goes to the 2 with Tony Duggan just behind coming back there competitively to win it at the top of the diamond tonight. So he has shown a variety of tactics, Lucy.
Yeah, he has. Just watch that play there. Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is, it's about his players, and at the moment, you know, his squad is, you know, arguably stronger than Wales, but they've got a really good 11 to threaten England.
He's on a yellow coat. Sanderson joining on the edge of the penalty area. He's gone to the dead ball line, pulls it back. Headed away decently by Sophie Ingle. Never present in qualifying so far, the Welsh Bristol Academy defender.
It's a problem when Wales throw themselves forward. England have got such quick players like Aluko on the attack. You know, they get right in Wales's penalty area really quickly and force the corner.
Pass it up from the back. He's had one goal in the past for England. Towards the near post, flick on. Sanderson was at the far post. She's such a skillful footballer. Just flick wide. She lost her place in the team for the last couple of qualifiers, but when she returned to the setup after her fallout with the previous coach Hope Powell, she really made a difference in the spring internationals.
Yeah, she's experienced again. She's played out in the States a lot of years now. She's got the experience of playing with excellent players out there, and she comes back in. She's a strong character, a loud character. You know, nothing really phases her. So, you know, a game as important as this will not phase her, and I would suspect that she will end up dropping a little bit deeper than Duggan at the moment is at the tip of the diamond.
Luko. Wide. Remy Stokes. He's in a further forward position. The University of South Florida. Scores goals regularly as well from that more advanced position. Steph Horton, the captain. Charged down by Ash Harding. Going through the middle tonight, Harding. She played further on the left at Millwall. Play out there. Bassett. Moves around the corner. Steered away by Ingle. So 50 caps now for Wales. And back by Sarah Wiltshire. That's a foul.
There's lots of bodies there in the middle there. You can see the way that England play and the way Wales set up against them. The width has got to come from the full-backs, but they fought for that ball there. Wiltshire managed to win herself aside. A free kick. England need to use the full-backs just a little bit more. That's where they're going to get the width.
8th meeting. England have won all previous 7. This is only the second competitive fixture. At the last game, and when the Welsh side were under the banner of the Women's FA. The Football Association of Wales launched a new strategic plan for women's football last year and hoped to get by 2022 22,000 affiliated players. Big ask that. So Steph Horton, her 50th cap tonight for England, and Hannah James forward for Wales. Comes here for Sarah Wiltshire. Too much pace on the ball.
A couple of times England have looked a little bit tentative at the back. Wales have got to capitalise on that, and if they do make sure the passes get there, they'll be happy with the start.
Now Mike Cannon, coach of Wales, 400 games in Finnish football. James, he's double wide. Hasn't scored in qualifying so far. That's the one for Wales.
I think the chances that Wales have just got to make a little bit more of them. You know, they've seen that a bit of a wobble there from England at the back and can capitalise on it. Be a bit more determined. I think the manager was talking before about playing the game and not the occasion. A big game for these girls down here in Cardiff.
Stokes. When we looked at the fixture list for England's qualifying campaign, this always looked like the stiffest fixture. Stiffer than the Ukraine away trip, which England won 2-1 back in mid-June. Started brightly that day, scored 2 goals in the opening 14 minutes. Started games very well in this qualifying, 22 first half goals so far. Williams, so very experienced. Scott. for Luco. Ahead of Cousins.
I think in this system, Jonathan, if you two centre forwards play a little bit wider apart and occupy the space in between the full back and the centre half, you cause problems, because if centre halves don't want to go out and mark, and the full backs don't want to, they want to worry about the full backs. So of the opposition, England, if they do that, then they're going to cause a few problems.
Duggan, such a bright, effervescent character. Carney. Towards Farrell Williams, slipped away from her and cleared by Nicola Cousins. Came back to the squad last year after 4 years away. On the bench at Millwall, a 2-0 defeat. One defeat in 14 matches for Wales. 1-1 against Scotland early on this month in a warm-up. Beaten at home in their last 6. It's a good ball out wide by Luco. Scott with a driven cross. Sanderson met it, got across her marker. And it just deflected away for an England corner.
And here Luco showing his strength across the middle of the pitch there. Managed to thread the ball through to Alex Scott. That's a great ball in. I thought Leanne Sanderson just needed to get a better connection. In the end, it just touched the Welsh defender. Kylie Davis.
Sanderson, the tallest player in there. Come back here then for Stokes. Coming high and over. Scored against Montenegro at home. And she scored around about 1 every 3 goals for the 3 games for the University of South Florida.
She's got a terrific strike on it, Demi Stokes, and get that ball on target. It could hit anybody, ricochet in, so it's worth an effort.
Point will be enough for England to reach a 4th World Cup finals. They've been quarter-finals in their previous 3 appearances. Williams used the ball well. No great pressure on her there though. Steph Horton. Scott. And a missed kick, and Harrod James back to her. Talented player, the 20-year-old Bristol Academy midfielder. And on the right of midfield as well. Might switch with Helen Blezard, who's starting right this evening. Sanderson. Back to Stokes. On top of the table, Group 6, 24 points. 38 goals scored, 1 conceded. You look for Luco. In the way, here's Fishlock. Wales 5 points behind England. Need to win this to retain any hope of winning the group. Trick away in Turkey and at home to Montenegro for Jess Fishlock in this campaign. Here's a Luco. Can she keep it in? No.
A couple of passes go straight, particularly from England. I mean, both teams well aware, particularly England, that a point will do them. Not that you can play for a draw, Jonathan, of course.
England, Germany, Spain, Switzerland, Sweden, Norway and France top the groups. Scotland, Italy, Finland and the Netherlands the best 4 second-placed sides so far. That is a very fluent situation. Wales are 5th in second-placed group system. I'll explain that. There is a separate group for the second-place sides. We'll talk more about that in the programme later, because the results against the bottom team in a group are excluded. Wales very much in competition with Finland and the Netherlands for a place in the top 4, I think. There's a foul on Eni Aluko.
Part of Jess Fishlock's game, feisty individual, completely took Eni Aluko out there. Just a bit earlier, she'd muscled Fishlock off the ball. You only do that once.
Aluko in the box. Carney and Farrell Williams look back to the England bench then. There was an instruction shouted out to them. It's going to be Birmingham City's Karen Carney who'll take it. Another hat-trick scorer in the competition so far. She got hers against Belarus. It goes looking for a Luca all the way through! All the way in! England lead! Just after a quarter of an hour. Karen Carney's 5th of this World Cup qualifying campaign, and England are on the way to Canada unless Wales can stage a brave comeback here.
Yeah, think about these wide free kicks. If you get them on target and enough players run across the keeper, and the keeper's got a problem because you see Nikki Davis here, she thought that Enia Luca was going to get something on it, not very well marked, but in the end it spins in. You get it on target and everybody misses it. There you go, goal for Karen Carney.
Curled all the way in. The campaign started with a Carney hat-trick against Belarus 11 months ago. And she's on the score sheet again. Looking for her 6th major finals in international football. So got across.
It's an interesting amount of advantage played there by the referee.
Here's Mark Sampson. His name as a coach in 5 years at Bristol Academy, took them to 2 cup finals and the runners-up position in the Super League. Doing so well this season. Sophie Ingle. Still a tough test for England, this. Wales with a good system. That's important for England. Whatever happens tonight, Lucy, they'll make the finals. It's a shot just wide, decent effort as well by Sarah Wiltshire, just reminding England of the danger, but I think England need to get experience playing against teams with good systems, because with all due respect to some of the teams they've played in the group so far, they've been pretty awful.
Yeah, that's the problem with these qualifiers. You don't really get anybody to test you. The only ones really that have tested have been Wales in this qualifying campaign. You know, they've played Sweden, so credit to England that they've gone and beaten Sweden, but I think more of that is needed, because it's a shock then when you come to the World Cup and you're playing the likes of France and USA, etc., and you know that they cause problems because they can change systems in games and got good players to do that.
Towards Wiltshire again. Wiltshire and Harding. Difficult opponents for the 2 England centre-backs. One's dropping off and coming from deeper positions. Zingle. Carly Davis, now at Millwall. Chelsea this year. Away from her, strong challenge. The player who's always given 100%. Actually played for England youth and under 23. She was born in London, her granddad's from Wales. Nia Luca. So how would you have defended the goal as Karen Carney stepped forward to take the free kick?
I think the defenders, I mean the goalkeeper's got to look at a defender as a centre halves getting in front and getting the header clear, because as soon as it comes through and it drops, it's very, very difficult for the keeper to, you know, to determine whether Ennie's going to get. If Ennie gets a header on it and she goes for the far post, then she looks stupid. But she's got to rely on her central defenders to get the heads on it and defend the free kick properly.
Davis, corporal in the RAF, is it Reading now? Doncaster Rovers last year for a while. Neatly by Bassett. Sarah Wiltshire. Wishlock is to her right hand side, and the Blizzards further wide. Lauren Dykes. Rangers all in. James was there and it nearly came through to a good defending. Back out to Wiltshire. England was stretched.
That's much better play by Wales. Kept the ball 3 or 4 or 5 passes and an excellent ball into the box. Defended by Alex Scott, but just waiting for it to come down. Wiltshire thought the deflection was going to take it past Barnsley, but much better from Wales.
Popular girl here, she was at Cardiff on loan last season. Here's Aluko. Stokes. Aluko. Look at the Sanderson. Header drops out to Duggan. Scott was to her right hand side. Nobbs. Oh, flicked the bar. Davis was beaten by the flight of the ball.
It originally started with Eni Aluko. When he came out to Jordan Nobbs, she couldn't get herself a shot, but great effort. I thought when the keeper was leaving that, hang on, but that's dipping a little bit. Just got to get closer to Eni Aluko in the box, Wales. I mean, I know it's difficult, she's a quick player. You know, but as she's running through quickly, you stick your leg out and you may give away a penalty. Just get a little bit closer in the box, don't let her run through and do pass whoever she wants to pass to.
She was outstanding in the 2-0 win against Wales last autumn, and scored for a second consecutive game in Turkey. Then she picked up her injury. There's Aluko. Plenty of red tape involved when you go out to a World Cup. England could do worse than employ her services in unravelling it. She's has a first-class law degree. Very bright individual. Steph Horton, Aluko, Duggan, shot on the run. England dominant at the moment, but there's just that nagging thought that Wales could catch them on the counter.
Yeah, I think in the last attack, Jeremy Brook in there. In the last attack there, Jonathan, you know, you look at Wales and they kept the ball really, really well. Ended up with an effort on goal.
Trevor Brook in there, one of the Football Association of Wales council members. Needs a mention, I feel. Trish Turner, the first woman member of that council since it was formed in 1876. And all of this new Welsh FA football strategy for the women's game. Keywords: profile, participation, investment. Increases. Certainly has its support in this part of Wales, the women's game. Horton nearly ran away from her, wasn't helped out. Women's game massive in the USA, in Germany, in Japan. In 2011 in Germany. It was going huge in Brazil. But I think England score stage like this, they go to Canada, they've qualified, they will be fancied again to reach the last 8 at least.
Yeah, they will. Better performances that they had in the Euros last year. I think the better preparation in terms of the teams they play against. Playing against all different types of teams.
Laura Bassett there. Just caught the flailing hand. Sarah Wiltshire.
So Wales have got to use these positions better. You know, a lot of tall players there for England. Maybe play the ball, pass the ball in there. Looks like it's going to be a longer free kick from Fishlock.
She scored against Scotland earlier this month in that tour, Wiltshire. Perhaps aimed at her too far forward though. Easy gather for Karen Bardsley. In the last two, missed a couple of the qualifiers injured. Chamberlain came in. Here's Jordan Nobbs again. Scott on the overlap. Duggan. I was going to say Wales needed to cut that eventually. And Harrow James got there, but hung in the air a long time before anyone attacked the ball.
Retreating into quite a good shape, Wales. A lot of bodies there in the middle, and they've got a lot of possession. Closing down is improving as the half goes on.
Next goal in this game is huge. Here's Sanderson. Stokes. And Jordan Nobbs perhaps Seeing Tony Duggan coming out of her peripheral vision, snatched at it and pushed it wide.
Yeah, you can see what she was trying to do. Firm side foot, strike into the bottom corner, just got her angles all wrong.
Goes for Arsenal. Not really in contention for the Super League title this season. Team in transition. Birmingham and Chelsea joining the top. Birmingham have a couple of games in hand. Liverpool, Manchester City not out of contention yet. Arsenal did win the FA Cup again. And Stokes, Nobbs. And here's the goal scorer, Karen Carney. For Luco, attacked by Nicola Cousins. Duggan tried to dummy. Here's Luco. Strong by Howard James, and it's come there off Nicola Cousins.
And Harrod James has done a good job on that left-hand side for Wales, looking after Jordan Nobbs. It's quite a narrow four for Wales, but it's just don't want to be doing defending all the time, because both James and Blizzard on this right-hand side can attack very, very well.
So can Steph Horton at set pieces. She's gone in towards the near post area for the flick on. Comes away now. Watch her go back in again as it comes towards the far post. There she attacks it. Doubled in the end by Nicola Cousins. Wales have done their homework.
Yeah, it's good delivery. They had their little set plan there, but good defending by Wales.
They're unbeaten in 26 World Cup qualifiers since losing in the playoff against France. Rain pouring in Cardiff. Into the corner towards the near post. Carney, his first time ball wide. Williams. Dropped away on the volley by Lauren Dykes. Here's Alex Scott. Williams, fourth English player to reach the 100 caps. She's gone on to that record 130. Captain the side against Sweden. Put that on it. And comes across from Carney and away through. She's approaching 100 caps.
Yeah, she's in form as well at the moment. Karen Carney for Birmingham. Seen some good performances from her this year. Unfamiliar position here for England, but she's managed to get herself wide and get herself forward. The defending shape is more like a diamond for England, but as they go forward, Jordan Nobbs is getting forward and Karen Carney.
She missed the Ukraine home game with a back injury, and Mark Suggs actually changed the tactics that night and went to very much a front two. And England won with a pair of goals each by the front two players. Tash Dowie's on the bench tonight under Luco. Sanderson's calling for the ball. Stokes didn't see or hear it. Lovely play, Farah Williams, such a cultured player. Scott, it's an awkward bounce. Tash Harding looking once again for Sarah Wiltshire. Awkward bounce. I hope there'll be no consistent bounces at the World Cup finals next summer in the women's game, because they'll be playing on artificial pitches, which apparently give a truer bounce. I'm not too sure about that, and I know there's some protests against that decision. Trying to see if FIFA will change their minds. I know that Faye White is in our studio, has been very vociferous against it. In towards Duggan. Ooh, is that a penalty? We're coming together with Lauren Dykes.
First look at that, Jonathan, I thought that was a penalty. I don't think she got to touch the defender, but referee, I get a chance to see it again. It's good movement by Leanne Sanderson. Definitely wasn't a touch by Dykes.
It's a penalty for me. Horton, throw to Wales. like a live wire for England, either up front or as she's playing today at the front of the diamond.
Quick touch inside. Already Dykes had stuck her foot in there to try and stop the ball. Missed. Took the player. Let off there for Wales.
Wiltshire couldn't keep it in play. How do you stand on this debate about the 2015 World Cup matches being played on artificial turf? Abby Wambach, the 2012 and 2013 Player of the Year, very, very vociferous, and she signed a petition against it.
I think it's ridiculous. I mean, how you can't find enough good grass pitches in Canada to play a Women's World Cup on. I think it devalues the competition. They definitely wouldn't do it with the men's competition, and I'm with Faye in terms of why should it happen with the women's competition, and you know, that you need to play on grass, surely. Football's played on grass for me. I'd sign Abby's petition.
James there by England's Farrah Williams, seems to be everywhere at the moment. He's Scott, he's had the freedom of Cardiff City Stadium all night to get forward. Luco, Scott's gone wide. His nods trying to force it back. With a handball there against Sophie Ingle, not too sure if it was.
Wales are retreating really deep, not getting close enough on the edge of the box, the England players, and a bit of time on the ball. Keeping it on the edge of the box, it's good play around the edge.
Nobbs looks for Sanderson. Dykes just got there. Away by Kylie Davis.
This is the appeal for handball.
Off the shoulder. Referee was right. You see her nodding the head. She was well positioned. Carly Aluko. Jordan Nobbs in space. Carly with the touch off. With the dominated possession, but the worry for them is they're only 1-0 to the good. Difficult to force their way through, perhaps, with Sanderson.
We'll see if Wales just keep England to having these efforts from the outside of the box, then they've done the job. The defensive shape is particularly good at the moment. They're just keeping England at bay, but they just need to get a little bit tighter earlier, the edge of the penalty area, and make use of these situations.
Towards Tash Harding. And away from her, not a great touch. And away for a goal kick. Oh, big Neville Southall. And his Everton jacket in the crowd, the most capped Welsh player with 92 caps until Michelle Green. There, beat that mark with a 93rd against Scotland earlier this month. Cardiff City player Michelle Green won the title, the Welsh title last year. It's Fishler. Can't get her on the ball at the moment. Here's Sanderson. Tall, strong, commanding. Defensive shape for Wales and discipline. Towards Aluko, she's offside surely. She has to be offside. Flag was seen a little bit late.
Introduction to the game for the assistant referee on the far side, but definitely offside. And from behind two centre halves.
Now to England. So much of the ball, Wales are making it difficult for them to break through. Sanderson, Aluko, off to Williams again. Don't think she was expecting to come back there.
When England are relentless in their attacking phases, and this crowd, the majority of them, are happy how Wales have done since the goal, but I see more going forward, more bodies supporting Sarah Wiltshire and Tash Harding.
Never qualified for a major tournament finals, Wales, but their European qualification campaign for Euro 2013, they finished third in the group, much better than their Euro 2009 campaign. Lost all 8 games then. 4th out of 5 in World Cup 2011 qualifier. Inside the last 10 minutes of the first half. Bassett. He was dropping deep there to playmate. Bassett bringing it forward. And Jordan Nobbs got space for Scott on the right-hand side. Wrong option. Wrong option to push it through to Aluko.
It's weird watching a game without loads of goals with England involved, Jonathan. We've been spoiled with the amount of goals that we've watched. These internationals we've covered, these qualifiers. Obviously the Wales game apart down in Millwall. It's always going to be a tight affair when it's local rivalry. You know, Wales don't want England to come here and win, and you know they've got their own agenda as well, Wales, in terms of qualifying for those playoffs.
Unbeaten in 42 qualifiers, England, if you include the European Championship qualifiers. Scoring goals for fun in this competition so far. Sanderson, lovely reverse ball and a good run by Aluko into the gap. All alone at the moment though, has to hold, wait for support. Stokes arriving. Only 3 in the box. Wales have plenty of red shirts back in there. Here's Carney. And Hara James will get it away. And as far as Sanderson, a shout there to Farrah Williams that she had time to hold. Carney, been superb so far. Carney and Williams, I think they've been magnificent. Luko. Ball by Bassett.
I think Wales have conceded that the likes of Farrah Williams is going to get on the ball, but their shape is better the closer they get to their own goal. That's the amount of goals they're going to concede, and they know that they've got players on this pitch, Wales, who will score goals. Likes of Tash Harding, Jess Fishlock, Wiltshire.
Davis. Misplaces that one. Experienced player. 26 years of age, Kylie Davis. Green. Fishlock. Quickly on by Wiltshire. Inaccurately so. And she comes back and bundles into Farrah Williams. The referee's played the advantage without making any real sign that she was doing so. And she's got a real glare there by the Liverpool player. Fishlock. Carney. Now, I'm not too sure that was a foul. The first one was, but not that one.
No, that definitely wasn't a foul. The one Farrah Williams was, but Fishlock won that really well without really touching the England player.
It's a referee making amends, Lucy, I think. Duggan. Sanderson. Duggan, one of the players who moved to Manchester City this year. Oh, that's all the way through. Lucan, suspicion of a handball. Play on, England get a second. What a finish. Wales looked to the referee. They thought it might have been handball, but it was a cracking finish. And that's 9 goals for her in 10 qualifiers in this campaign.
Just sloppy from the throw in there from Wales. Bounce over their head. I think it was England. Well set. And that was a shoulder, Jonathan, for me. She tried to control it with the chest, I think. In the end, just on the shoulder. There's a few, I think, because it ends up in the back of the net. A few Wales players look. Yeah, that's the chest. That's not handball, is it?
Little appeal from Nicola Cousins. She raised her arm, but a magnificent finish by Annie Aluko.
And so we're talking about the handball, but what great technique by Aluko. Give her that much space, and that's what she does in the penalty area.
85 caps, 27 goals for England, but 14 of those have come in the last 19 games now.
And that means she's on fire, as the young ones say.
And, she appeared on Fighting Talk on 5 Live last season, and very bright and effervescent. Certainly too bright for me. And she goes again, Annie Aluko. Sort of knobs in the box to the far post, and away by Ingle. Important header. She saved Wales there. Third goal for England before half-time. Opening curtains for the Welsh. Really need something out of this game if they are to retain hopes of finishing in the top four and going for a playoff place. If they lose this, they'll have to win in Ukraine.
To be honest, Jonathan, I think that's what they were planning on. I think they know that they're going to have to go out and win in Ukraine, and even when they're looking into these last few games, this would be difficult. England only needing a point to qualify, etc. The strength of the squad of England.
Scott, forced wider by Cousins.
There's no reason they can't go out and beat Ukraine, that's the thing.
Well, they're fifth place in the middle table for runners-up, level on points with Netherlands, 2 points below Finland. That runners-up group excludes results against the bottom team. Netherlands have a winnable game against Portugal at home. And they're qualifying, games that qualify for that table, if you like. Finland play Bulgaria today. That won't count Bulgaria bottom, and then they play France, who lead their group, home and away. So if the Dutch could finish with 16 points in that second place table, Finland with 15. Wales would need to win in Ukraine.
I do think that Eni Aluko's really improved even more this season, and you see there the quality of the finish. I mean, she's still going to beat Nikki Davis, who's a top quality keeper from a tight angle, but I just think she's become cleverer in the way she plays. She uses her pace. Her pace is she's extremely quick. Technique obviously very good, but she's become a little bit cleverer the way she plays and involves teammates, gets in positions to score goals, and obviously scores them as well.
12 goals now altogether in her career in 20 World Cup qualifiers. Very consistent. Mara Williams, Sanderson on the left-hand side, if she can keep it in, can create here for England. Aluko's in the middle. Wales look a bit bedraggled at the moment. Sanderson, the best of passes in. Cut out by Kylie Davis.
Unless they do something, Wales, and stop this flow from England, then it's just running away from them, the game. And he knows that.
Chiamo might need to inject some pace into the centre of his midfield. Maybe bring on an extra player in there to allow Jess Fishlock to get more of an influence in the game in an attacking role. Into the corner, Luko in there to the far post, and England have a third. And I think it was Laura Bassett at the far post who got it.
That's brilliant to see. Look how surprised everybody is. And Laura Bassett herself, she's got herself on the score sheet. I think she was surprised that it got to her. Great finish in the end. At first I thought that Eni Aluko was going to get ahead on this, but it just felt Laura Bassett. And she connected with it, and a goal's a goal's a goal. Straight from a corner. Well done, Laura Bassett.
Only a second for England. The players looked surprised. I was surprised up here, Lucy. Had to do a double take there to make sure it was Laura.
Yeah, the rest of the girls really pleased for it. It's not something that she does very often. She's coming to this side. And some people say she's coming to this side really instead of Casey Stoney, who most people would expect to have played. She's got herself a goal, and she's defended quite well so far.
And has played an increasingly important role in qualifying. In the last four now. Here's Scott. Sanderson is four. Brilliant ball in. Clinical finish. England are ripping Wales apart.
I see Jess Fishlock there with her head in her hands. They've just crumbled the last few minutes of this half. And the last thing they wanted to do, you've just got to connect there, left back, or just stand your ground. But what a great ball from Alex Scott. Leanne Sanderson in that position. Header on goal. 4-0. That's a great finish, a great move. Wales Wales are just contributing to the downfall, and this is just now a bridge too far.
What a great move that was. Magnificent cross in.
She don't miss those. Leanne Sanderson.
A disastrous end to the first half for Wales. Sanderson putting England 4-0 up. Karen Carney got the first on the quarter-hour mark with a cross that sailed on through. Aluko the second, Laura Bassett with a surprise, and then seconds later Sanderson with a fourth. A great first half for England. On the way to Canada in the World Cup finals. Wales dispirited 4-0 down at half-time.
So, 4-0 at half-time. We're expecting it to be just a couple of goals with Wales very much still in it, but Jane Ludlow, Wales having the stuffing knocked out of them just before the break.
Yes, it's disappointing. The girls have played fairly well for most of the half, but some really simple errors have let them down, which is really disappointing because they've done so well so far in the campaign. It's awful going 4-0 half-time, but hopefully they'll come out with some positivity and get something back second half.
Faye, as things stand, it looks as though England are qualifying for a World Cup. It feels like a very strange way to do it, knowing they're coming here just for a point and they're 4-0 up at half-time.
Yeah, I think they'll come out here to want to win and put in a convincing performance. They've done that all the way through the campaign. But first of all, I thought Wales are set up very well defensively, making it hard to play through. But it's just their, switching off at set pieces, which has let them down. A couple of those first few goals were just sloppy defending and not really clearing, not making decisions. But overall, I thought England were just probing, working their way into the game. And to be 4-0 up, I think they'll obviously be very happy with being able to clinically finish when they've had a chance.
Yeah, Sue, they were clinical. They scored the 4 goals. Did you feel that on the performance that they were 4 goals better than Wales?
I don't think so. I think, Jane mentioned it. They set up really well, Wales initially, and they were quite defensive and it was difficult for England. But what I thought England did really well was that they were patient. So they kept the ball, they kept it moving. And when they started to move the ball quickly, Wales were struggling a little bit. And then they were just ruthless in front of goal. When they had a chance, they finished it. And that's something that Wales didn't do. They had a chance early on that they didn't quite score from. I think they made the keeper work, but that was it. So I think that's the difference between the two teams at the minute.
Yeah, so set pieces featured heavily, and it was your captain, Jane, Jess Fishlock, who gave away the free kick for the opening goal.
Well, Jess is a tough midfield player, and she will always go for those balls, those tackles, and it was just misjudgment. She'd look back and she'll regret it now, but at the time she probably thought she could win the ball.
Yeah, you see the delivery is a perfect delivery for a free kick. You always ask them, just put it in that area where it's hard for the goalkeeper to come for it. But again, the defender allows Eni Aluko to get that wrong side there. You can see her trying to plug it, and also Nicola Davies in goal's not sure whether to come or not. In the 6-yard, you can maybe think, if you are coming, come and go through the defenders and take everyone. But generally, it's the actual delivery that makes that mayhem in the Welsh box.
Eni Aluko. Pretty convincing second goal, wasn't it?
Do you know, she's been playing so well the latter part of the season, and she's been playing really well for Chelsea as well, and I think she's took that into her England form, and I think, she just causes problems. She's got great pace, she's great with the ball at her feet, and I think, that's something that I think is a real credit to England, and she's, like I say, causing Wales problems.
How much has Eni Aluko come on? I mean, we heard Jonathan Eyre saying that it was her 9th goal in 10 qualifiers. That's phenomenal, but how much has she improved over the last few years?
Yeah, I think so. In her general game understanding, the fact that she can play in a varied number of positions now. In 2009, she was very much an out-and-out 9 and wanted to play down the middle. Being behind the scenes, it was very much that's all she wanted to focus on, whereas now she knows how to play out wide, as a 2 up front as well. And, she's finishing quality as well. When she gets in front of goal, she's actually putting them away. It was a fantastic finish for the second goal.
OK, well, let's have a look at that finish. It was a throw-in from Tony Duggan, and not much mucking about inside the box.
Yeah,
right?
it was quite bizarre because you don't really expect, the throw-in to actually, set the goal up. But you can see it's just a bit of a mix-up. But Eni does so well. She anticipates it. We said, did she use a hand? I'm not too sure if it was a hand or a shoulder. But what a finish that was. That was on the volley. And it was fantastic. But I've got to say, defending-wise, I'm not really sure what happened. I think Jane was sort of saying, wasn't you?
No, I think so. Sophie Ingle will be disappointed with her reaction then. She thought she could win the ball, obviously, by going, but it was a little bit delayed. And she left Kylie a bit stung, to be honest. I don't think Kylie expected to be left there with any. But little errors cost you cost you points and cost you games at international level.
Yes, well, that was 6 minutes before half-time. Of course, it was 3-0 pretty soon after that. And Laura Bassett may have raised a few eyebrows that she got the nod ahead of Casey Stoney, but obviously the manager, Mark Sampson, knew that she was going to pop up and score a rare goal.
I'm not sure about that, but no, Laura Bassett, this is again another good delivery into that danger area, and she just wins the tussle really over against Hardin, number 9. I think she's a little bit fortunate, she's stuck out her leg and it's just hit it. And again, it's just, you want, if you're a Wales player, you need to be attacking those areas and making sure that you're the first player, that your player doesn't get across you, but you're getting your head on it. The keeper, if she's coming out, she's claiming it.
Leanne Sanderson, how impressed have you been with her in the first half? Not just because of her goal.
Yeah, really impressed. And again, Leanne's, since she's come back into the England squad, I think she's got a point to prove. And it's like, I'm a good player, watch me play. And her, for me, her ability on the ball, her vision is second to none. And all the way through the game, she was doing nice little touches. You know, she comes into that number 10 role, but then she also plays the furthest up the field. And here you can see Alex Scott, again, probably a mistake there by the defender, but what a ball that is. And again, you look at Leanne Sanderson's movement in there. You know, she pulls the player away before go. But when you get a ball initially, you know, Farrah Williams plays the ball out wide to Alex Scott, and you can see she's just driving, but she knows that if she gets the ball into the box, Leanne Sanderson's going to be in there. And that's a great ball, and you can see she runs off and she's celebrating because she probably doesn't score that many goals with her head, but she's got the ability to do so. And if you give her an opportunity at that moment in time and at that point, she's going to score. And it's just disappointing for Wales to have conceded, you know, 3 goals in the latter stages of the first half.
There were other chances as well for England in that first half. Jordan Nobbs, who's back after a back injury, she's missed a lot of the season through that problem, but she almost scored with a dipping effort from distance.
Yeah, Jordan's a fantastic player. I enjoyed my time at Arsenal playing alongside her, and it's great to have her back in the women's game. She's been out for a fair few months now with a back injury. Yeah, great opportunity for her there. She will create herself a lot of chances because of the energy she has in the midfield area.
How much have Arsenal missed her?
Yeah, massively. Like Jane said, it's the energy, it's her vision. She scored a debut goal similar to that for England. But it's a box-to-box work rate, but plus also a game understanding. For a young player, when she come into the side at Arsenal, she wasn't afraid to just talk the game, and that's one thing that a lot of females don't do enough, really, is to be confident to be talking and communicating, and she does that very well. It's a good part of her game.
From a Wales point of view, Sarah Wilshire, right from the kick-off, looked to be somebody who was going to get Wales going. It almost had a chance in the opening few minutes, but she was very promising.
Yeah, definitely. And I thought, there was a couple of little chances, like half chances. And here you can see it's just, nice little bit of play, good quick feet, and she just, in fact, I think it was actually good defending in the end by Laura Bassett, but, it was a good, positive start from Wales, and I thought it was looking promising, but as the game went on, they just started to sort of go further and further back. But you can see here, she's in a good position, and that's not a bad shot. Laura Bassett actually does really well there to close that angle down, but all the way through the game, they looked like, they had the opportunities. They weren't ruthless as England have been.
Ruthless, that's it. 4-0 half-time, which means that England are just 45 minutes away from reaching the World Cup finals. Some of the top sides from around the globe have already qualified, and with an increase from the 16 teams who went to the last finals, Canada is preparing for the biggest ever event in women's football. recognise that player from somewhere. She normally has bandages strapped around her, but that's Faye White, the former England captain there. And Faye, you've been very vocal as somebody who's been against the artificial turf that is so controversial in the Canada World Cup next year. 5 of the 6 venues will have it. Why are you so against it?
For me, I think it's obviously the pinnacle of the women's game, of any, of football all around the world. And for me, it should be played on grass. I'm used to playing grass in England, and I don't think there's many players that would say, I prefer to play on turf. There's obviously a number of factors as far as some people, the bounce of the ball, whether it runs truer or not, the chance of injuries on that. There's been studies into that as well. So you get injured on grass pitches as well. But for me, I think I signed that petition about nearly a year and a half ago, and obviously now it's more coming. Yeah, it's more coming to light now because obviously we're getting closer to it. But for me, it's just my opinion that I think I'm used to a game traditionally played on grass. I know I've trained a lot on turf, and so obviously in America the league, they play on it a lot. But it's a World Cup, a final, and I think it's the pinnacle. Players want to play on grass.
Jane, as well as being the Reading ladies manager, Arsenal Wales legend, you're also a physiotherapist, as you were part-time at Arsenal. But why, from a physio's point of view, is this artificial turf so controversial?
Look, I think with regards to artificial turf, they'll only know the effect it's going to have on players in 10 or 15 years' time. The older players will tell you now, a 2-hour session on that makes you feel about 20 years older. If you've got any type of tendon injuries or issues, then they will flare having a training session on there, let alone a game. So, having said all that about the turf issue, I think the majority of female players these days train on it. They're very used to it. But would they want to play a competitive game, let alone a World Cup final, on something like that? Probably not.
OK, well, thank you for now. We'll have more on that soon. But the race to reach Canada is hotting up, of course, and all the European teams who finished top of their group are guaranteed qualification. But it's a little bit more complicated for the runners-up. The best 4 from the 7 groups will go into the playoffs to decide the one remaining qualification spot. And making it into those playoffs depends on your results against the top 5 teams in your group. So, currently, the 4 teams heading into the playoffs are Scotland, looking good for them on that front. Italy, Finland and the Netherlands, with, as you can see there, Wales only just currently missing out on a place. But that could still change a lot between now and the last round of games on 17th of September. And even if you do make it into the playoffs, then you still have to win a 2-legged semi-final in October and a 2-legged final in November to clinch that last available place in the finals. Well, Scotland's hopes of finishing top of the group were dented back in June when Sweden won 3-1 at Motherwell. So it looks as though the Scots are now going to have to win their last group game in Gothenburg to stand a chance of automatic qualification. And so getting there via the playoffs looks to be difficult, bearing in mind just how many matches are involved.
Yeah, it is difficult, and I think the likes of, like we said, like the Netherlands, Italy, Finland, they're top nations in women's football, and there's only one that goes through. So of course it's going to be tough for Scotland, but they can beat them. I think they've got to look at when England played them, it was only a friendly, but England beat them 4-0, and Scotland are so much better now. So I think no reason why they can't.
OK. Well, now, there's a celebration tomorrow night because the nation's favourite football programme has reached a special landmark.
Oh, God, he's tone deaf and all.
If you listen at that song, the thing that comes immediately to you is match of the day.
As soon as that came on, you dropped what you're doing, boom, straight, sat down, eyes glued to the TV.
It's football, it's people, it's match of the day.
Saturday nights wouldn't quite be the same without it, would they? Well, here in Cardiff, it's 4-0 to England in the World Cup qualifying match. England look to be heading to the World Cup next year. Wales, though, certainly not over for them because they still have a chance of qualifying for a playoff spot. But what do they have to do now in the second half to regain something from this game?
Well, look, for the girls, they need to take some positives out of this game. They've got 45 minutes to go and put a performance together. To be honest, they're probably going to go down the route of defending still fairly deep and limiting England chances. And if they do that, then they can take positives from that going into the Ukraine game. There's still everything to play for us, irrelevant of tonight's result. We can go to the Ukraine and win, That's not an issue for us, but it's keeping everybody in a positive frame of mind and looking forward to that next fixture.
OK, well, let's see how they get on in the second half. Let's head back to our commentators, Lucy Ward and Jonathan Pearce.
Thanks very much, Jackie. Wales drew at home with Ukraine, 1-1 back in April. Had they won that game, they would have been in a very good position to finish in the top four and get one of those playoff places. No changes for either coach at half-time. Wales will get us off and underway, all in red, then kicking from right to left. Chilly breeze around the Cardiff City Stadium. Wales blown away by those 3 England goals in the last 6 minutes of the first half. 26 of their 42 goals in this qualifying campaign have come in the first half, and it's now the 6th time they've scored 4 at least in their 9 qualifiers. They totally dominated the group. They were expected to do so. A budget far greater than any of their opponents, but they've done their job very well. Here's Leanne Sanderson and it's Scott. Together they were at Arsenal, of course, in Alex's career. Nobbs, who was at Arsenal, as we've just said, sorely missed with her injury earlier on this year. Luco, stolen away by Sophie Ingle in Bristol Academy play. Just heard there the panel talking about the difference between Eni and Luco these days. Lucy, what do you make of her improvement?
Yeah, I think she's just learning the game. I think that's it. She's always had that raw pace and the ability to finish when she's put her in front of goal, but you know, now she's learning the game. She's learning her position. She's learning how to bring teammates into it and get herself in a position, you know, where she can score. And you know, that it sounds silly to say that, but you know, as players get older, they get that experience. And now she's doing it at international level, you know, and she's scoring lots of goals at this level. In the European Championship finals of 2005 against Denmark, having taken A-level history in the morning. Farrah Williams with a crossing towards the near post. And we'll get a second chance now, perhaps. First to it there. Helen Blizzard. Wales are really struggling to deal with the balls put into the box in the first half. It's limitation at the moment. Like Jane says, try and get something positive from this second half, because I can see them going to Ukraine and winning, you know, and that's what the focus got to be, starting from now. Carney, they made one slight change. Blizzard's gone to the left of midfield, and Howard James has started the second half on the right. It's where she played the game at Millwall. And that's away for a Wales throw-in. Listen, Wales' defensive shape was okay, but when the ball was put in the box, the individual errors just meant that England just scored direct from them. And you can't do that at this level, particularly in the last few minutes before half-time. It's just killed the game for them. Steph Horton, England's captain. Laura Bassett spaces away towards Demi Stokes. Carney, too strong, might have been pulled there. Certainly Tony Duggan was appealing. It's not a great ball away. Farrah Williams leaves it for Jordan Nobbs. Carney's in space to the left-hand side. Not a great pass though. Helen Dyke's rather jittery and clearing it away. More time than she thought. Williams. Demi Stokes. And Carney again. Williams.
Stay, Sarah, stay.
Steph Horton took over the captaincy midway through qualifying. If you think that's made her a better player. I think being a captain is tough, you know, it's better than trying to concentrate on your own game, but mine being England captain as well, so I think at the start she may have struggled with it, but she'll grow into that role, don't worry about that. She's a good enough player and a good enough individual. The ball by Nobbs to Sanderson. It was a fine ball out to the right in the first place by Carney. Return of Jordan Nobbs to the England midfield gives them someone who will run and run. Really good box-to-box player and chases all game long. She was missed in some of the spring internationals. And England did badly in them, of course. Williams will take the corner. They thought about coming, got a hand on it. In the end, it bounced away off Nicola Cousins. Davis didn't look too comfortable in the air there. I just need someone to be dominant.
it's the goalkeeper and the centre half just to get the head onto it, or the goalkeeper catch it. But England are ruthless at the moment. They're dominating, the momentum's with them, and they're full of confidence. Difficult for Wales this half to keep them out and keep the scoreline to 4.
And enough to send England to the World Cup finals. That's pulled all the way back here for Jordan Nobbs. Took it well enough, and a decent effort. Credit must be given there to Natasha Harding, who closed very quickly on her.
Yeah, makes a player think. I mean, it's great technique, great first touch, and she just threw herself in front of it, really enough to put her off. I mean, you talk about centre midfielders like Jordan Nobbs is in. If you're talking about how they affect the game, which penalty area does centre midfielder? Because if they don't defend or they don't attack, then what do they do? If they're just in the middle passing it around, they have to affect the penalty area, you know. And she has the ability to do both: get the goals, pop up with the goals on the edge of the area, and also to defend really well on the edge of her own box.
Drawn towards the ball. James spinning it in. It's the keepers. James come back to the left-hand side now. Cousins underneath it. Sanderson trying to find Jordan Nobbs. Quick to close there on Nicola Cousins again. Second Division Yeovil town. Nicola Cousins, the former Cardiff player. Port Talbot also. There's Carney. And always seem to have a player in space. Good intensity about their game, good pace, all things that Mark Sampson has worked on. In by Blazard. Was trying to find Sarah Wiltshire from Dykes. There's Carney. Sanderson. Wales are going to make a substitution here. It's going to be Carys Hawkins who comes on, the record cap Michelle Green. I thought they might make a sort of change. Hawkins, 25-year-old who plays a football in Iceland with Fylkir. He's played in Europe in the summer and Australia in the winter in recent seasons, played in Sweden as well.
She's gone straight in at right back, pushed Blazard into the middle, and Dykes forward.
Scott. Well won back by Karen Carney. It was too easy for her, but she won it back well against Hawkins.
So that's what confidence does for you. England closing down in 2 or 3s. Wales just can't get out of the half at the moment.
Up by Stokes, and she'll get it again.
You've got to enjoy having the ball, just keep it. England don't have to force anything now, they can keep it and just inch the ball through the thirds, get on the edge of the box, and then trying to get into positions where they can score more goals. Because going to Canada next year, it's all about that now. You know, unless something dramatic happens, that's what's going to happen. They need to perform better than they did last summer.
Carney all the way back to Steph Horton, lots of space for her. Farrell Williams has dropped in there as well in the centre circle. Not wide for Sanderson. Look at her foot. The Cousins ducked into it. There's James, lost out. Tucked away by Horton once again. England 4-0 up. Just joined us. They needed a point to make sure qualifying for next summer's World Cup finals in Canada, and they're well on their way. touch off there by Sarah Watch, who has been lively. Bassett scored England's third goal. Right there against Dykes. It's pushed on now to the right side of midfield since the substitute Hawkins wearing 13 came on. This will be difficult for her now, isolated with only Aluko. Nobbs, Carney. Scott, not a good ball. James is coming to a more central position now. To Wiltshire, took it well enough. Lazard couldn't keep it in play. She's been the best Welsh player, Sarah Wiltshire.
You see, this is what's happening. They're getting the ball into England's half, and it's a straight pass, so it goes out of play. Wiltshire looks bright though. He'll definitely be happy.
Real achievement for Mark Sampson, this. 5 years at Bristol Academy. And Bristol to their highest ever finish in the Super League, second. Oh, this is a chance now for Demi Stokes. Will she go all alone? Aluko's there with her. Tried to spin it in off Fishlock. Nearly came to Jordan Naughton, tucked away by Helen Blezard, the Yeovil Town player, back at Yeovil after years away.
Just came from a straight square pass from Fishlock. Expected a right back to run onto it. And again, just end up defending a corner.
Wales have badly missed. Hayley Ladd is out with an ankle injury. And Helen Ward, who scored many a goal for them in the past, she's out expecting. Williams with the corner. Black Halton, a good save. Good goalkeeping to foil the England captain.
Yeah, Steph Horton, both defending and attacking set pieces. She does really well for England here, a real threat. She gets that header on target, gets herself in space. Nikki Davis equal to it. Let's get this threat from all over the field for England.
Williams with the corner again. England looking for a fifth. This time played short to blocked. Hooked away by Lauren Dykes. Pressure is still on. Nobbs. That's out of play. That'll be a Welsh throw in. Wales are about to make another change. They're going to bring on Nadia Lawrence. England throw. Slipped away out of play before Wiltshire nimbly go down the line.
Mid-game line, Lots keep tucking in. Channel ball settle, KB.
That is Nadia Lawrence. Nobbs. Scott forward. And still going. Desperate to score, Alex Scott. She always is in every game she plays.
And the system at the moment England are playing, it gives her licence to get forward. Hannah Williams drops in to make a three with the two centre halves, and both those full-backs can get forward, and they have done this evening.
Jordan Nobbs goes forward again. Alex Scott just cut out Manhara James. Already been busier in there. Rather wasted in a wider position, perhaps. So it's Lauren Dykes who goes off. She's going to be replaced here by Nadia Lawrence. Based in Iceland at Vestmannaeyjar. 7th this season. She had a good season with them last season. They finished third. She moved there really at the behest of the Welsh coach Jarmo Maikkinen. Thought it would be a good idea to try to gain experience. But her job there really to rise with Leanne Sanderson. Comes all the way now through to Fishlock. A rare touch of the ball for Karen Bardsley.
It's good to give some of these players the experience.
Oh, that's given away. It's Wiltshire. And in the end, She forces a save out of Bardsley, and England got sloppy.
She did really well there. I thought she'd taken it too far and taken a touch too many. In the end, it's a good strike. Karen Bardsley did well with it. Tall keeper and get down well. Just got to keep going, Wales.
Real mistake by the England captain, though. England are going to make a substitution imminently. Jodie Taylor's going to come on for England. Plays a footballer in the USA. In a debut in the friendly against Sweden early this month, and Annie Luco departs. Scored England's second goal. It was a blistering effort, typical of her. And on comes Taylor, latecomer really to the England scene. She's 28, she's played most of her football abroad. She's got 11 goals for Washington Spirit this season, and could face Fishlock in the playoffs.
Listen, Jonathan, she's been a good player for years, Jodie Taylor, and you know, it's crying really why she hasn't been in the England squad in years gone by, just because she's played out of the country and she's got good experience there. Even when she was a young player here, she was a top young player. She's getting her time now.
Fought for England to build up an experienced squad to take to Canada. Started off at Tranmere, did Jodie Taylor. She's from Birkenhead.
That's where I played against her. That was years ago, wasn't it?
I'll do you a favour and not mention the year.
All right.
Ooh, that's another sloppy mistake this time by Stokes, and Wilshire's in here. Right angle. Will she go for goal from there? At the back stanchion.
I bet Sarah Wilshere has never had that much time in an international game before to score a goal, even against some of the lesser teams. And England are getting a little bit sloppy, and this is the problem for Mark Sampson. You know, you've got to make sure that you play every pass and you're careful, because against other teams, you could have 2 goals against them in the last sort of 10 minutes or so. And she deserves a goal, Sarah Wilshere. She's done really, really well. She just ran on a dead end at that point.
Next summer, England will come up against the likes of Germany, Japan, USA will be there, I'm sure. Brazil. 2 balls on the pitch at the moment. The referee's just told the England goalkeeper Karen Bardsley to remove the first. Here's Taylor. Scott has bounced away from it. Tony Duggan tried to play her in. And here's another one of the England players that has emerged this season. It's Fran Kirby, top scorer in English football at the moment, with 16 goals in 13 games for Reading, who are third in the second division. She's replaced Farah Williams. It's her second cap. She scored against Sweden on her debut.
And this is the thing, players who are playing well in the WSL, 1 or 2, you know, they're going to get the chance if they're good enough. And Fran Kirby scored some goals this season. Yes, Jane Ludlow, you know, she's getting a chance, and she's done well at England level. I haven't seen that much of her, but I've seen some of her goals.
And that's an important message under the Mark Sampson reign, isn't it, to players? If you're in form, you will get your chance, but perhaps that hasn't happened before.
No, it hasn't, you know, and to be honest, it's what should happen. And you know, you look at some of the players now, some of the young players coming up, they know that they can get themselves in front of Mark Sampson and his staff and play really, really well. You know, they'll get an opportunity, and you know, what a chance. You know, actually Frank Kirby might not have been involved in this, you know, if he hadn't been in charge.
Bit of a nervy first touch that, the ball ran away from her, and it's an England throw. Scott will take it. England 4-0 up, 63 minutes played. Scott round the corner looking for Kirby. Knobs to Thornton, on the way to Bassett. Carney. Now Wiltshire. That's all the one of Blizzard. Scott was there. James moving away to the right hand side here. Chance for Wales perhaps. Lawrence back into the box. It is a corner kick for Wales, who are coming back into the game, and England really defending that one at the moment. Difficult at 4-0 up to maintain that sort of drive and determination.
Scott and Steph didn't really know Yeah, the Welsh players were there. There was enough of them in the box, but just not in the right area. Chance for them now, though.
Let's over the corner. And in the end, Karen Varzi did fairly well because she was being boxed in tightly there under physical pressure. She's still down, actually. Here's Khan. I don't think she'll keep it in play. She's up now, but grimacing.
I think she's complaining of being impeded there. I think it was by Tash Harding. Squash between Jan Sanderson and Tash Harding, but she's a big enough keeper. She's strong enough to survive that.
Squeeze it away, the American-born English number 1. Parents are English. She comes from Santa Monica, California. Jordan Nobbs. Here's Duggan.
I do think Jordan Nobbs is helped by the fact her dad played, because she'll have grown up with learning the game and talking through with her dad, and I think that really, really helps.
Sanderson. That's just filled in the Farrell Williams role now. Here's Carney from range. Pushed out. Oh, and off the post! And she's missed out on a goal, Jodie Taylor. And Wells should have been punished. What a moment that would have been for her. On a competitive England debut.
She'll dream about that tonight. I don't really have that much time to think about it, but I can see she just tried to knock it past the keeper on a diagonal and got hit in the post.
Score all those goals at club level in America this season. On the back of the net with England, he's Stokes. Carney's there and Nobbs further across. Bassett, good pass, Sanderson took it well. Just gave herself about half a foot there with the way she took the ball.
Get back inside, get back inside, come
with
inside, Nadia, keep
Mary Davis up behind her. And now look, Fran Kirby, chase it down with England, that's a goal kick. That chance again.
It was a great strike in the first place by Karen Carney. She wasn't offside, she held the run, just came down and she took a little touch, tried to knock it past. I mean, she should have scored, but just tried to knock it past Nikki Davis instead of straight at her. Just spun off the outside of her foot. She's going to be dreaming about that. Unless she scores now a hat-trick.
Jill Scott's coming on for England for Karen Carney. I do think she's been outstanding.
She's done really well, Karen Carney. Like I say, in form. She's carried that form from the WSL into England. Inspired this win, which I think it will be for England. Jill Scott probably unlucky not to start at the present years gone by for England.
Half a chance here though for Wales, again testing Bardsley. And here's Tash Harding with the shot. Jill Scott very popular in the England camp. Scored a goal against Montenegro at home in this qualifying campaign. 84 caps now for England. Now look for Wilshire. Horton goes across. 4-0 up. England have lost some discipline, that's for certain, and some shape. I'm sure Mark Sampson will forgive them that. Difficult to criticise them after a win like this. Qualification for a World Cup final secured. Maybe though he won't forgive them, I don't know.
No, probably. I mean, he will remind them of it because they wouldn't get away with it with some of the top teams. But they did the hard work and they won the game in that last few minutes of the first half with us. 3 goals.
Duggan. After Kirby. Jodie Taylor. Decent enough cross in towards the far post. Scott was arriving, nearly came down for Sanderson. Jill Scott keeps it in. I mean, Stokes is arriving, back into the box it goes. Away by South Ingle. Sanderson, handball.
England have always got that player wide, whether it's the full-back, it's one of the forwards. Time it was Jodie Taylor, and the ball into the box has been really, really good from England tonight.
Here's Mark Sampson. Done his job well.
Yeah, credit to him. You know, he had to pick these girls up, the majority of these girls up after last summer. You know, get them going, get on a qualifying campaign, and with a promise of Canada at the end of it. And they've done it in, to be honest, they've done it in style, Jonathan.
Chance for Tash Harding. Into the box, closed in the end by Laura Bassett and Steph Orton. We ought to mention Brent Hills, the work he did before Mark Sampson took over permanently.
Absolutely, Brent had been there a while with Hope Powell. Just managed to steady the ship right at the start of this campaign. I can see Wales, sorry Jonathan, I can see Wales getting one here. Just a little bit of a lapse there in the concentration of England at the back.
Late flurry, late consolation. Let's see. Fishlock underneath it. So Scott momentarily lost it and then clears it away. Harry Davis. Off balance, Fishlock knocks it on. Looking for Cousins. Harry Davis has stayed forward. Now Wiltshire. Great roar from the crowd. Tasha Harding's in the middle. On the near post, aim to the far. Fishlock came in.
Done a lot of work in the middle tonight. Jess Fishlock managed to get herself right on the end of that. Great movement there. I think that's by Tash Harding. Managed to get a diving header, but just not in the right direction. He busted gut to get in there, just couldn't get the direction. Some goal.
I remember us saying at Millwall, Wales must have thought that night if they could still be competitive around the 75-80 minute mark, they might catch England on the break. Well, today, if they'd only been competitive, here we are 71 minutes into it, the game's long been lost for them. But that just shows you what might have happened.
But they've had 3 or 4 or 5 even clear-cut chances in the second half. They've just got to be better at dealing with that ball, and defensively it's just done that for them in the first half.
Fran Kirby. Taylor stepped inside, good turn. The chip to the far post. And sailed wide by Tony Duggan. Quite heavily there as well.
I think she's embarrassed. She was thinking about doing the scissor kick then. Just in two minds. She's alright. She's scousy, she's hard.
We've had something to cheer about in the second half on a wet old evening in Cardiff. Plenty of young fans in there. Girls in the crowd, which is great to see and so important for the Welsh FA, their plan to get more women players in Wales. The long road ahead for them. Certainly they would get a massive boost if they could win in Ukraine, get one of those 4 playoff places.
The capability to do it, and then you look at Scotland, and they're in a key position to that, when they could end up playing each other.
Certainly from what we saw, Ukraine beaten by England, this player on the ball now, Fishlock, could be a key player in there. She's good enough, certainly, to score against the Ukraine defence.
Yeah, I think it's a full focus now for Wales, just getting that result there.
Horton clears. By Glezard, Horton again away. Duggan. Down beyond Taylor. We've been playing the throw and got it. I would have won that throw on his appeal alone, you know. I'm not too sure the assistant referee from Greece knew.
The Welsh bench weren't happy at all.
Comes up like a slip fielder appealing. Sanderson, Piper. Ooh, might have gone Wales' way. James might have ducked into it. Sanderson has skipped beyond Cousins, who's drawn too easily to the ball. And was saved by Helen Glezard. Cut out by Duggan, still working hard. Wiltshire got back at her. And It's just through the goalkeeper. Willie Taylor flopped rather ungallantly. Nadia Lawrence wearing 17, he's done a couple of useful things since she came on.
The Wales get these players blooded into it. And they've done well the last couple of years. And now they're a team that people are looking at, you know, that they can qualify for these major competitions.
First home defeats in September 2012 against Scotland, and only a second defeat in a run of 15 games now, both against England. They are improving. Duggan, good enough to force the throw-in off Anhara James. Coming Stokes into Jill Scott, who was pulled back by Jess Fishlock. Just looking out there to Debbie Stokes on the left-hand side. That emergence of a genuine left-side fullback has been important for England over 2014 as well.
Yeah, I mean, as a team you need balance like that, and she's a strong, quick, powerful left-back who you say is capable of scoring, and she can get up and down that line. I mean, she's made that position her own over the last few games.
Before that looked as if there were square pegs in round holes. Here's Alex Scott, Kirby, and a long way round. The ball back to foot by Tony Duggan. Scott again. Scott. Alex Scott to Jill Scott. Back to Alex Scott. It's a corner. Scott's there, taking on Wales and England. Morton moves forward. In short, Alex Scott and Kirby. Jordan Nobbs. Kirby was caught late. Nobbs all the way through.
England having a good bit of play on the edge of the box. Usually Jordan Nobbs involved. When we strike the ball through, that's on target. He goes in. Could have hit anybody. She knows that.
Fishlock lost the turn. Lost it, and it's Nobbs, and it's deflected. England lead 4-0. They could have had 7 or 8.
A lot of rain tonight. It's Fishlock who just slipped there. The ball went behind. Jordan Nobbs in. It's great defending.
Kirby with the corner. Matthew Scriven could be played in short. By Cousins in the end. England have another corner kick. Duggan at the near post. Turning the substitute in on the goalkeeper. Ford again leaving the near post to go round to the far post area. Sanderson comes into the middle. This is an appearance by Ingle now. Horton has stayed forward. Has a pick of what, 3, 4, 5 in the box. Towards Duggan. Ingle again. A lot of ball in the air has Sophie Ingle. In the end, it's squirmed away. They've got into a bit of trouble there, Wales.
England are just trapping Wales in, even. Can't get the corner out after it comes in and they clear it. It's cleared around, it's ringed round by the England players. Just trying to keep this 0-0. Well, they're doing so.
Grace Hawkins it was who eventually got it away. All England at the moment, with just over 10 minutes to go. They lead 4-0. Too high for Jill Scott. It's gone all the way through to Sanderson. Back to Alex Scott. Into a left foot. And it was dipping.
Players of England playing with confidence, which Scott always does when it arrives on a left foot for a strike.
Conducted a couple of interviews for the FA website, Alex Scott. And, written a couple of articles over the past. Oh, there's Marianne Spacey, hero of England's first World Cup campaign. back on the coaching staff. Good to see that as well. Quarter-finalists in 1995. Lost to Germany. England losing to Germany shot. Natasha Harding and Sarah Wiltshire battled on gamely. Certainly Wiltshire has had opportunities. Well, it looks like England versus Wales played 8, won 8, 34 goals scored, 2 conceded in the history of the meetings. Away by Stokes. Wiltshire, his touch again.
She's a clever little player, Sarah Wiltshire. She's had the opportunities, she's been a little bit isolated. Tash Harding up there. When she's got it, she's sort of seen a little glimmer. She has that in there.
Into the last 10 minutes. 10 minutes to confirm England's place in Canada 2015. Stokes. Looking for Jodie Taylor. Given away by Hawkins. Strong challenge by Bassett. She's done well tonight.
She's a strong player. Qualities are the tackling and the defending. One defending. So she's quite good at set pieces, as we've seen tonight.
To Chelsea this year, she was the first Birmingham player to be kept by England in this season from the Midlands. Here's Stokes once again then, into Jill Scott. England's goals, Carney on 16 minutes, Aluko, Bassett and Sanderson, those 3 goals coming in a blistering 6 minutes spell at the end of the first half. Steph Horton, the captain. Tony Duggan came short, wanted it played to feet. Kirby. Duggan to her left now. Not too sure we've seen the best of her tonight in this role. Stokes, hit the hand there of Lawrence.
Yeah, I like to see Duggan on the shoulders of defenders running with her pace.
Kirby to Tony Duggan. Given away by the substitute Lawrence. And a free kick for Wales. Natasha Harding was fouled. Wales are going to make a third and final substitution in a minute. Josie Green's getting ready to come on. That's a good clearance away to Duggan, hit for Scott. He's won it in the end against Lawrence and strides purposefully away from Fishclough. Still goes on. Taylor skips inside Cousins to drill it in. Came in the end up on Harrod James. Oh, look at the August rain.
I always rely on the British summer. It's freezing as well.
Speedos with me as well. Left the mumbles tomorrow. Dear oh dear.
I hope it stops.
There's a good dummy. Sanderson, room to shoot. Jill Scott. And betwixt and between, they got into a bother.
Both of them wanted to score there. Run over by Steph Horton. Good little turn. Just fell into Jill Scott's path, and Leanne Tanner said, well, if I'm doing the turn, then I'm having the shot.
England really should have won it. With a 6 or 7 goal haul, I think Wales have deserved at least one through Wiltshire. They'll feel that anyway. Scott. Bank holiday weekend weather for you. It's a throw for Wales. with 5 minutes to go. There's Jordan Nobbs. With power running on the right of the diamond early on, but now anchoring the diamond, and foot left in there by Harrod James. Alex Scott. The referee's playing on, England have the advantage. Walton under pressure into Kirby. James. Nobbs to Jill Scott. Protecting the ball. Move it easily. Laura Bassett quickly on. It's been the hallmark of England's play. They've moved the ball quickly when they've needed to and accurately. I think by far the better team. We expected it to be closer tonight. Here's Kirby. Way wide.
She's grown into this game. One to a game, Fran Kirby, since she came on. A bit of a nervous start, but you can see what she's got there. Good feet, drives at defenders, not afraid to shoot.
Score against Germany at under 23 level in March. It's gone so well for Reading this season. England. Beyond Kirby. So England was tripped. It's a free kick against Scott. Wilshere chasing. And she keep it in play. Well, she certainly went up through the gears. She was unlucky. Played very well.
She's given everything. Sarah Wilshere.
Wales making a final substitution. It's Josie Green there. Plays at Watford. Back at Watford, she went to Man City for a while. Fourth game in this qualifying campaign. A quarter of an hour against Scotland earlier on this month. Won by Cousins. Scott, lovely header. Good communication there as well, as Wilshere was hovering in behind. Got a good shout, gave it to Jordan Nobbs. Sanderson. Brought back into the fold by Mark Sampson. It's been an evolving England group since the European Championship disaster of last year.
You would say that other players look at this and think that they could get in before next summer as well. There is the opportunity for that. So there's a fight for places.
Jill Scott closing on Fishlock, trying to get it forward to Harding. Good decision by the referee. No advantage gained, so she's brought it back, and she's done very well, the referee from Greece, Talia Mitzi. It's the one penalty shout, I think, in the first half that England might have had a penalty. This Fishlock will be crucial next month. Wales will need to get something in Ukraine. They'll have to be better than that. Rama Maikkinen, the Welsh coach, part-time now, I think. Can't really help matters. But smaller countries, in terms of women's football development, have tighter budgets to work within. Jordan Nobbs. Alex Scott has had another fine game for England. He's not missed a minute of this qualifying campaign. Suspicion of a handball by Engel, but it bounces kindly and England can go on. Duggan. Towards Jodie Taylor. Jill Scott. Lawrence skipped neatly there and got caught, and that'll be a free kick, caught by Nobbs.
She's expecting that challenge. She got hurt in it. It's a little bit late by Jordan Nobbs.
Got a good reception when she came on, did Nadia Lawrence, former Cardiff player. Crowd small and enthusiastic. a great first touch by Blizzard. Sanderson. He's got too much to do. Lawrence to Wiltshire, but across comes Horton to cover. Here's Stokes. There's a problem here for Wales. Keris Hawkins had moved forward and committed herself. And Taylor speeding forward for England. Has support. Scott, and that's Alex Scott. Here's Sanderson. Back to Van Kirby. Into 2 minutes of added time. The young Reading player lifts it over. Only 21. Signed for Reading when she was 8.
I'm sure there's a lot of ESL 1 clubs looking at her. In fact, I know there is. Yeah, arranged to leave if she has to.
On by Blizzard. She hasn't been able to get into the game as much as she would have wanted. Taylor's gone to the left-hand side since Kirby came on. Rolling forward, Duggan, one more. Here's Kirby. And then probably England overpass there, and Sophie Ingle gave it the big heave-ho. Congratulations to Mark Sampson. Took over from Brent Hills, who did do a very good job as caretaker manager. Mark has continued that work diligently, and he's advanced the team certainly. They've dominated the group, they've dominated this game, they've deserved to go through. Very well done. A really good night for England's women's football. Marsh very much in developmental stages. Taylor, Fishlock now has it. Scooped back by Kylie Davis. England have won. England are through. Handshake from Mark Sampson to the beaten Welsh coach. England 1-0 up after a quarter of an hour through Karen Cardiff, and then 3 goals in 6 minutes for Aluko, Bassett and Sanderson. That the best of the night. A brilliant header from a lovely cross. England, very, very well done. Very professional. They're through to Canada 2015. England women are in their 4th World Cup finals. They've won here by 4-0.
So congratulations to England, to Mark Sampson, to the backroom staff and to the players, of course, for qualifying for the Women's World Cup in Canada next summer. Confirmation there that they have topped the group. Only the group winners go through to the finals. But Wales still very much in it despite the 4-0 defeat tonight. They go to Ukraine on September the 17th and need to really win there to give themselves a chance of going through to the playoff matches. So, Faye, they're through to their 3rd World Cup in a row. What did you make of it?
Yeah, obviously, I think a very professional performance. It's about getting the job done to go through the whole campaign and, you know, only concede 1 goal and also win all your matches. You've got to be very pleased with that. I think today it just showed the gulf between England and Wales, and the fact that Wales started with 6 players that play in the WSL too. Just lacked that little bit of sharpness, being able to react quicker, the fitness, the strength, that kind of thing, and also, yeah, fitness going into the latter stages. You can see they were very much trying to just deny England the chances to get through them, play through, but generally well organised in their overall play, but then just set pieces weren't at the races really early in that first half.
OK, well, let's have a look at how they did it. 4 goals, all coming in the first half. The first first goal coming 16 minutes into the game with a Karen Carney free kick. We thought for a moment it might have got a touch from Eni Aluko, but it didn't.
Yeah, I think they'll be trying to, Eni might be trying to claim it, but yeah, you see she doesn't really. She just puts the keeper off and makes it very hard, and it's just that run that obviously takes her attention. And this was the second goal. Again, it's poor defending by Wales, but a fantastic finish. And again, here you just see there's no one really in the Wales team that's attacking the ball and stopping players getting from across them. And Laura Bassett scores that one. But this is the best goal for England, really, I think, with the cross from Alex Scott, and obviously the header. Again, gets in that space, poor defending, the defender gets on the wrong side, doesn't cover around. But Leanne, I think she's had a good game. She's very mobile. She likes to link-up play, drop off deep into the midfield, but then also shows her how clinical she is. I remember playing with Arsenal with her, and she would score 9 times out of 10 because she is that good in and around the box as well as her link-up play.
OK, let's have a listen to Mark Sampson, who's down on the pitch talking to Sue Smith.
Firstly, Mark, congratulations. You've qualified for the World Cup. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, obviously it's a special moment for the group. We wanted to come here and do the job, and thought for spells in the first half we were outstanding. And the objective was to win and play well and qualify, and there was loads of good play in that performance. So I'm really pleased for the team, the staff and everyone involved that we finally made it to Canada.
Well, you've got 10 months now to prepare. What are you going to do between now and then?
Keep going as we are. You know, the girls are training very hard. They're looking ambitious and hungry to learn, and we've got to make sure we keep that mentality. We've got a long way to go, but we're excited by it, you know, the way we're playing at the moment. But you know, we feel there's lots more to come from this group.
Thank you, Mark.
He's one happy Welshman. You're a fairly unhappy Welshwoman, but your side does still have a top chance to qualify for the World Cup. Sarah Wiltshire had a few chances tonight. Has England got a little bit sloppy in the second half? Should she have done better, perhaps?
Look, the second half, the girls did fantastic. 0-0 second, 45 minutes. I'm proud of their performance second half. I'm disappointed with the result overall, but we had chances. It's just a pity, you know, we couldn't finish them and get on the score sheet tonight. I think Sarah Wiltshire is always going to be a danger because of her pace. In this chance here, I just wish she'd have been a little bit more direct and actually take that chance a little earlier before England regrouped and got back behind the ball.
But there's a chance for Jess Fishlock as well.
Yeah, I think one thing that obviously Mark Sampson won't be happy with is that as a defender, yes, you might have 90% of the possession, 80% of the possession, but you've got to keep switched on, and those chances were errors by England. And, you know, I think that's part of the game which at better level you will get punished, and you can't afford to make those errors. But yeah, just Fishlock, she's a top player, and she got up there, and that's just that they couldn't really get numbers in attack to support Sarah and Hardin for most of the game, unfortunately.
OK, thank you to Faye and to Jane for now. Hit the red button now for more interviews and analysis from Cardiff, where England are celebrating after qualifying for the Women's World Cup finals for the 4th time in their history. Canada awaits. Goodbye for now.
Finish, and England have a 3rd clinical finish. England are ripping Wales apart. England are on the way to Canada.